You wouldn't wish to be born with a red, shiny nose, would you? This is Coach Buckner, the Cowboy Coach, president of Buckner Life Coaching. And what I want to talk about today, I think I'm a little early on this one, but I think I should get this message out before it's too late. So we are coming up on what is considered the most wonderful time of the year, and that is Christmas. Yes, I would like to include Thanksgiving in that most wonderful time of the year because I think those two holidays all run together. I'm a super fan though of Thanksgiving. That's a time where most family get together, and I think I like the whole thing about being grateful and how you get together and you just you appreciate you're closing out the year together. That's a wonderful thing. However, when it comes to Christmas, I am a fan, and I mean fan meaning fanatic of Christmas music. I love Christmas music. Now, I'm a jazz guy, so I like mostly the instrumental versions done by certain artists. Everybody covers certain songs and they do some wonderful work on those. So I love Christmas music. I can listen to it year long. However, one of the most popular Christmas songs, I don't care for it musically, but one of the most popular Christmas songs is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, that song does nothing for me musically, but it is at the top of the list when it comes to principles. There is a principle that is in that song that I think everyone should know, and I think it impacts everyone's life. So, you know the song or the story and the song. Now, I'm not going to sing it because you don't want me to sing. Trust me, you do not want me to sing. So, the lyrics go, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose. Stop there. Okay, so Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, he was born with a red nose that lit up, right? So it was shine. He did not ask for that nose. He was born with that nose. It was something that naturally occurred. Even though it was abnormal, it was natural. Okay, let's proceed. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. Now, because of that, all of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They wouldn't let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. So now, something that, even though it was abnormal, unusual, Rudolph was born with a red shiny nose. And because of that, people laugh at him and they ostracize him. They don't even let him participate in what normal reindeer of his age was supposed to participate in. So, to them, to those people who laughed at him and don't let him participate, Rudolph has no value. And he doesn't have any value because they don't see any value in him. He's not normal. What could he possibly give us value for? Because he has a red shiny nose. No, we can't have him around us. Okay. However, the song and story continues. The next word in the song is then. Then. So that's a transition word. In other words, what I'm about to say after the word then is going to be in contrast to what I heard prior to that. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Okay, wow. So now, Rudolph's nose did not change. Didn't change. That was the reason why he was ostracized. However, a situation occurred by which somebody, Santa, saw the value in this red shiny nose. Santa had a foggy Christmas Eve in which he has to deliver presents. And his reindeer can't see where they're going because the fog is too thick. However, he sees that, Rudolph has a red shiny nose. that can help me cut through the fog and get to our destinations. So Santa sees value in the red shiny nose, but the red shiny nose happens to be attached to one person only, and that's Rudolph. You see my point? He's not really attached to Rudolph. He's attached to the talent of Rudolph, red shiny nose. Think about that. Santa sees value in Rudolph's red shiny nose, but he can't get the red shiny nose unless he has Rudolph with it. Okay? So Rudolph, as the story goes, Rudolph leads the sleigh. Santa's able to deliver all of his presents. He returns. The next word in the song says, then. This is the second then. Then how the reindeer loved him. And they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you'll go down in history. Okay, so we started out with a person who was born with a uniqueness that ostracized him at first. However, a situation occurs by which the very thing that was about him, that was natural, that was ostracizing to a lot of people, had value to a specific person. That was Santa. Santa saw the value not in Rudolph by himself. He saw value in Rudolph's nose. But you can't take his nose off and put it on another reindeer. He needs Rudolph because Rudolph possesses a unique set of talents. Rudolph does what his naturally occurring pattern of thought, feeling, and behavior is. He uses who he naturally is to save the day. And he saves the day not only for Santa, but for all the children that are receiving gifts. When that occurs, Santa accomplishes his mission. Everybody now sees the value in Rudolph. The problem here is this. Rudolph always had value, but he didn't have a situation where that value could be seen. That's true for everybody. You are Rudolph. I am Rudolph. Everybody is Rudolph. Your unique talents are a red shiny nose. It doesn't have value in every situation. It does not. But there are certain situations that are normal in the course of life in which your unique red nose, you can only do it. And people will pay you well to do that. And there will be some, hopefully millions of people, who will sing your praises because you were able to do what they could not do. Even though they would love to have, but they didn't have the skill for it. And it's something that they couldn't even acquire. You had it naturally. That's the principle in the story and the song, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So, as we approach the most wonderful time of the year, which I agree with, remember, when you hear the song Rudolph, they're talking about you. This is Coach Buckner, the Cowboy Coach. Look forward to talking to you again. Make sure you subscribe. Take care.